blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. We can't control the spread of this deadly disease. Don't you track and tracing absolutely guaranteed. Like politicians, we pretended from the start. We hope you overlooked how track and trace just fell apart. Oh, 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 whoa, whoa. Look at the cost, the lives that are lost. Oh, 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 whoa, whoa. Look at the cost, the lives that are lost. What a lie, that we succeeded on track and trace. We just can't find anybody. What a lie, we're up to speed on track and trace. We just can't find anybody. Track and trace, track and trace. Blah 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 blah. Track and trace, track and trace. What a lie, that we succeeded on track and trace. We just can't find anybody. What a lie, we're up to speed on track and trace. We just can't find anybody. Track and trace, track and trace. Blah 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 blah. Track and trace, track and trace. Blah 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 blah.
You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority at all.
Read the standing orders. Read them and understand them.
I have all the authority I need. I am Jackie Weaver. Hasta la vista, Barry. Right, well, that's the Handforth Home for Deranged Counsellors taken care of. Now, I've just got time to sort out global warming, COVID, and world social inequality before a nice cup of tea and a hobnob.
If you are a counsellor, then you have a problem. Don't mess with Jackie Weaver.
Hello? Yes? Is that the head of the NHS? Yes, Farage here. Nigel Paul Farage. Nigel Farage, former MEP, former broadcaster, former activist, and former a party addict. Farage, as in Mirage, yes. Right, yes, well, I'm out here at the English Channel. Why? Well, I'm helping you lot out, matey. Stopping the South African and the Brazilian COVID variants from entering the United Kingdom. Now, as soon as we establish a uniquely British mutation of this virus, then we get the South Americans and the South Africans trying to muscle in on the action. So, I'm out here with my megaphone, shouting abuse at the various trade winds and airstreams to fix your poorly structured protection for the NHS. Look, hang on a second.
Go back home. I tell you, if we had my way, the only way a virus would get into the UK would be under a points-based system.
Yeah, that does it. Right. What do you mean I don't know the first thing about virology? I'll have you know I'm an Aries. Well, no need for that attitude, Sonny Jim. Look, if you don't want my help, could I at least ask a question? What's the best cure for seasickness? Sorry? I don't understand. Did you just call me a Kent variant? Good evening. You're watching The Hughes at 10 with me, the gorgeous Hugh Edwards. Why? Because I'm worth it. The headlines. Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, was said to be delighted after being shown video footage of her countrymen pitching in and helping with the mass inoculation of people. She said it was part of the COVID vaccination programme until it was pointed out that she was actually watching the film Trainspotting. Oh, ducks! What? Yeah. Oh, what are we going to do? Hello? Yeah.
Hang on, I'll just check. Is there a President Biden? Oh, that's me. Oh, who knew? Right. Kamala, yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do? Listen, I just got your woke memo, and I just wanted to confirm a few things. Yeah. Okay. Am I right in thinking that woke is to do with systemic racism, white privilege, a fairer post-racial society, and the fight against people being marginalized? Okay, good. Because it's nothing to do with me when I wake up after alarm clock goes off then, right? Well, hello. What are we going to do? Whoa, who are you?
I'm your security detail, sir. CIA.
Well, that's a strange way to spell security. What are you doing here?
Well, I've been told to report to the Oval Office to remove a bust, sir.
Well, let's not be hasty, son. Some busts can be great fun, if I remember correctly.
The bust of Sir Winston Churchill, Mr. President.
Oh, okay, well, take that away. Can't bury your head in there and go brubbery. Besides, I got just the thing to replace that. Ducks! What are you gonna do?
Good afternoon, Britain. I think we need to talk. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I think we should maybe have a more open healthcare relationship, you know. A bit of privatisation, maybe. It might put the spark back in the NHS. It's something I've been thinking about for a while now, and I want to give it a try. It's not anything you've done, it's me. I think we should be free to see other healthcare providers. The NHS has been reliable, supportive, and I will always treasure the memories, but we're getting a bit stale, aren't we? It needs a shake-up. So let's try it, yeah? Don't look at it as a break-up. It's taking our NHS to the next level. And it's not like I'm walking away. I'll still be there if I have an emergency or I get an illness that costs too much on my insurance plan. Anyway, I'm glad we had this talk. Love you.
And we're out.
Excuse me. Got to make a call. Hello, Booper. Hello, gorgeous. Yeah, they took it pretty well, I think. I'll be right over. I can't wait for you to give me a full body scan. Dirty bitch. What I would say to critics of the government's Brexit policy is that clearly people have had enough of exports. The Prime Minister has laughed off suggestions that Downing Street is going to be inundated with St. Valentine's Day cards sent to him from ardent admirers. Apparently, this only ever happens when his children send him Father's Day cards.
Scream, 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 scream. Scream, scream, scream when I see you. I'm up in arms, I see you right through your phony charms. Whenever I see you, all I want to do is scream. Scream, 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 scream. Scream, 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 no sign of truth. I know inside, whenever I hear you, all I want to do is scream. Every single time you told a party lie, every truth you betray. I guess the trouble is, spare jeers, now I'm screaming my life away. The shame not shown, one single time the fortunes grow. Your school tie, whenever I see you, all I want to do is scream. Scream, 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 scream. Look, there goes the horse, twice around the course. Who needs stable doors anyway? On TV every night, talk stuff. Death toll goes up every day. The shame not shown. One single time the fortune's grown. The old school tie. Whenever I see you, all I want to do is scream.
Good evening, you're watching Fox News with me, Ann Anchor. Now that President Biden is in the White House, it's all quiet on the Western Front as the boring old Democrats settle for running the country honestly and competently. But at least there's a bright side. Now satirists are not being outdone by politicians, except in Englandshire. So, to see how our new president is settling in, let's go over to our White House correspondent, Chad Valet. Are you awake, Chad?
I'm just about awake, Anne. It's amazing how peaceful things are now that the orange one, whose name we dare not speak, isn't around anymore.
You're not wrong there, Chad. We here at Fox don't know what to do with ourselves over here. I'm even thinking about joining our sister channel, GB News, over in Great Britland, where at least they still have an incompetent buffoon with silly hair to play with.
Indeed, Anne. We here at Fox News really miss the hate-filled Twitter storms, the lunatic conspiracy theories, sprinkled with the odd coup attempt just for the hell of it.
Speaking of coup attempts, Chad, has the White House commented on the military in Myanmar seizing power and detaining the duly elected leader, Aung San Suu Kyi?
Yes, and the United States has led near universal condemnation for the coup, with one exception.
So what is our new commander-in-chief, doing about his enemies? Is he worried about assassination, Chad?
No, and he's never felt safer due to his choice of vice president, Kamala Harris.
Is that because she's a safe pair of hands and qualified to take over in case he gets assassinated?
No, and he knows that the right-wing crazies won't shoot him, because if they do, they'll end up with the terrifying prospect of not only a person of color as president, but an alleged woman.
A terrifying prospect for our viewers, Chad. On a lighter note, I hear the Biden's family's German Shepherds, Champ and Major, have arrived at the White House, continuing a tradition of presidential pets.
Indeed, and former President Barack Obama had a pet Portuguese water dog named Bo, whilst his predecessor, George W. Bush, famously had a pet poodle named Tony Blair.
Oh, thanks, Chad. You've been watching Fox News. I'm Ann Anchor.
One. Oh, 111, how can I help you?
This is 1-2.
1-2?
Yes, one is calling from Windsor Castle. One has a problem with one's son, Andrew.
Oh, is it an emergency?
No, he's been a problem for years.
No, Mum, does he have a medical problem?
Well, Philippe thinks he's got some sort of mental problem, but one is worried that it's one of those new corona variant thingies.
Okay, Mum. So, has he lost his sense of taste?
Well, he did marry that red-headed girl, and as for some of his other girlfriends, well, in fact, one doesn't think he's ever had any taste.
Right, okay. What about a temperature? Is he hot?
Well, he was when he was younger, apparently, especially in uniform, but these last few years he's gone off.
What about a persistent cough?
A cough? No, one doesn't think so. Lots of other annoying little habits which one can't go into, but not that one.
Well, Mum, it doesn't sound like your son has COVID, but to avoid any doubt, he should probably isolate for 2 weeks.
Oh, splendid. Well, one will pass that on. One thanks your subject. Ciao, ciao. God save one's grace. Andrew! Yes, Mumsy here. One called that 111 number. Yes, and they advised that you should self-isolate. 6 months. Yes, of course one's sure. Yes, and you've got to tell all of your people in your bubbly thing as well. Especially that red-headed strumpet. Yes. And no talking to the media. And don't worry, one will send flunkies over with food parcels. Well, yes, obviously one is gutted too. Yeah. Sorry, got to go, darling. Ciao. 111, thanks you.
This week, Boris Johnson has said there are no limits to what the nation's schoolchildren can achieve, as he's vowed not to let the pandemic damage their education by raising the school leaving age to 65. Seasonally greetage, every bowl. Now sit all two square on the botty and turn your eardrobes directly and pay attendance. Once a polytito, there's all rosy in the garter boat 10 downy, and for Uncle Boris, deep joy. Then blow me, all of a suddenly, rat-a-tat-tat on the door clabber. It's corony viraload. Uncle Boris, all noggin scratched and run about like headless egg popper, cally for the boffidos and profithilodas. Every bowl, no need to be hand-wringy. Leave it to me, and all be fixy up and hunky doorknob by summerload, quoth Boris. Folly. Goodbye and disappeary over horizon, there goes National Health Survey, Economile and next electrode. Then, deep joy, Astra, Zebedee, Florence and Dougal, new Vaxi Bowl, sleeve up Rolly, every bode and Jabba the Hutt. Uncle Boris, crackly open fizz and many tilty elbows. But, wait a mo, celebrating too soon. There's EU troublemaking Brexit bollocks Michel Barnier rubble, telescope all digit waggly and shouty, where's my sleeve up Rolly clabber? Deep folly. Health Secretary Lopper, Matty Handjob, all eye-watery and lacrymal, and save the National Health Loppers, he cried all crocodiley. Save the National Health Loppers? Not like low. More like low, protect Matty and Uncle Boris politico-career-aways from flushy down the porcelode. Deep folly. And that's all worms of wisdom from Her Marjorie's Goverloppers. Deep joy, yes indeed, marvelode. Hello loves, it's me, your anti-vax. Today we've got some healthcare themed letters. Now I know there are lots of problems with the NHS, like harvesting our DNA and vaccinating people against a fake virus, but they really do a good job. Besides, I'd rather the NHS collect my genetic data than one of those awful American health insurance companies. Go with what you know, that's my motto. So let's go to our first letter. Dear Anti-Vax. I have been hearing a lot about something called the NHS recently. Apparently it's failing, it's under pressure, but we should be clapping for them. Now who are the NHS and why should we be clapping for something that's failing? Yours, Muddled in Middlesbrough. Oh, Muddled. I'm not surprised you've heard of the NHS. It's been an integral part of British life for years. It stands for Neolithic Herpetology Society. In short, it's an ancient group dedicated to the preservation of our reptilian overlords, treating our human illnesses as a cover. We clap because those in charge, the reptiles who are benefiting from their services, tell us to. And because they refuse to raise the staff's wages. So let's go on to our next letter. Here we go. Dear Anti-Vax. I am so confused about just how deadly COVID-19 is. The people I follow on Twitter say it's no worse than a winter cold. But my sister says there are lots of scientists who claim it's very deadly indeed. Should I be worried? Yours, Perturbed in Portsmouth. Well, Perturbed, as I always say, do your own research. Don't listen to someone else's research. Now, I did a poll on the Facebook to find out how deadly coronavirus is, and none of the people who replied on there had died. So there you go. Now our last letter. Now, dear Anti-Vax, I have had poor eyesight for years but feel very self-conscious wearing glasses. Oh, bless. I've been offered the chance of a laser surgery on the NHS to correct my vision, but it sounds so scary. Do you have any advice? Yours, Blind in Blackpool. Oh, now, my love, you shouldn't feel so self-conscious. No, I don't think you should get laser eye surgery for that reason. You're beautiful, just as you are. Now, I don't know much about lasers, but I do know they're being fired from space to start forest fires in the United States in order to clear a path for high-speed rail projects. So maybe just get contact lenses. Right. Now, my dears,
we do have one very special announcement before the break. Now, I know we said that this was a healthcare special, but this is breaking conspiracy news. We can tell you exclusively that the identity of the American truth teller QAnon is... Health Secretary Matt Hancock was prompted to ensure the UK had enough coronavirus doses after watching the portrayal of a deadly global pandemic in the Hollywood movie Contagion. This came as a complete surprise to the many people who assumed that Mr. Hancock and his boss Boris Johnson were basing their strategy on another film entirely. You've been watching The Hues at 10 with me, the gorgeous Hugh Edwards. Don't ask why not.
This ship of state is all at sea. Corruption, contracts, PPE. Welcome to democracy. Blow me, Bullingdon boys. Oh, soon may the reckoning come. Once all the world beating's done. The chimes of doom have just been rung. Give Tories one big heave-ho. £12 billion for track and trace, but the dosh all went to the Tories' mates. Death toll higher than United States. The only thing world beating. Soon may an election come. Keith and Co, they can all do one. Labour to the right of Genghis Khan. Rename them all Blue Labour. Clap for heroes, they told you, but you can't eat applause in an ICU. Nurses' pay rise is now due. Make rich pay their taxes. Bozo the election won. Said he'd then get Brexit done. When the Scotland referendum's done, from the UK they will go. Oh, they lied about selling British Rail, British Gas and the Royal Mail. Our NHS is not for sale. It's a time for revolution. Soon may the reckoning come. Once all the world beating's done. The chimes of doom has just been rung. Give Tories one big heave-ho. MP Zoom, they spout and brag. Interviews with a great big flag. Braggarts brag, that makes us gag. Refuge of the scoundrel. Soon may the reckoning come. Once all the world beating's done. The chimes of doom have just been rung. Give Tories one big heave-ho. Soon may the reckoning come. For whom toll bells have just been rung. Ask not for whom they toll those bells, they toll for thee.